Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is wonderful to see all of you here again. Today we're talking about something a little different. Instead of an editing tutorial or any adventure-related photography, we're talking more about a 3-month update to my journey in becoming a full-time landscape photographer. 3 months ago, I decided, okay, this is it. We're going to turn my passion of landscape photography into something more, and this is how we're going to do it, via this channel, this YouTube channel. And since then, I have kept up with making a video every week, and I have stats and money and revenue and all of these things to show you and basically explain what I've done along the way. Now, you might be asking yourself, why did I choose YouTube? Aren't there other paths I could take? And from my observations and from what I can see other landscape photographers doing that are successful, there are 3 paths you can take. They're not strict. They kind of merge into each other at some points, but there's really 3 ways you can go about it. The first one is you can gain enough following on Instagram or social media, advertising, maybe just locally where you live, and start running workshops. And then once your workshops get big enough, you can also create paid content videos that show how you might edit a certain photo, and you charge a certain amount for that. Another way is YouTube, exactly what I am trying to do. You make tutorial videos, landscape adventure videos, that kind of thing, exactly what my goals are for this channel. And the last method is kind of old-fashioned, and I probably would not recommend it to most people, but that is going to trade shows with your prints and opening a gallery at a certain location or anything like that. And realistically, I don't think that that way is very viable for most people. I'm not going to tell you can't do it, because I'm sure there's someone out there that to this day, right now, could start and make it successful. I am not that person, and I don't think many people are, and modern day landscape photographers are becoming successful using that model. It was definitely when film was a big thing, before digital, before YouTube, all of that kind of stuff. Not saying it's impossible, just saying it's improbable. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't do a lot of these things. I could open a gallery if I wanted to. I could run workshops eventually, but I started out with YouTube. Or someone else might start out just gaining a lot of traction on social media, making videos, and then move to YouTube. They kind of all mesh together. But those are the 3 main ways I think that you can turn landscape photography into a career. Now, there's going to be outliers, and you might say, well, I don't want to do this, but I'll do this. That's completely up to you. This is more about the path that I've chosen, which has been this channel. And you might be asking, why did I choose YouTube? Well, the first reason is I really enjoy video work. I enjoy talking to the camera and getting feedback from everyone about the videos that I'm working on. I also had a pretty substantial amount of equipment doing video work because I've done it for the last 8 to 10 years professionally and for my job. I do a lot of documentary style work. So I had equipment to transition from just taking photos to doing video and taking photos. Now, you might be saying, well, I don't have all of that. How do I get started? And you really don't need all that much. If you have a camera that you take photos with, which I'm assuming you do since you're trying to do landscape photography, it's very likely a lot of the stuff that I'm filming, like this right here, could just be filmed with that camera. The only additional thing you might need is just a video camera or camera to take out in the field and use to film yourself doing what you do, taking photos, explaining your photographs. That's really it. Now, obviously, there are many ways to improve the quality of your content, whether it's a drone, better microphones, a better secondary camera, all kinds of stuff. But to get started, you really don't need much. However, this is about why I chose YouTube. And that was because, again, I had a big background in video. I already took landscape photos. It just seemed to make sense. Now, I will say that from everything that I've seen, the only way to really make it as a landscape photographer in today's world is to be a good educator, to be a teacher to other people. I don't know. There's probably a small handful of people that don't teach any photography and make enough money just doing photography in the sense of landscapes to survive. I also have a feeling that all of those people have been well established for decades, and they're not somebody trying to make a career of it now. So I genuinely think that you just have to be a good educator to do so. Now, does that mean right this second you need to be able to teach people how to shoot photos and how you take your landscape photos? No. But eventually, if you're passionate about the subject, if it's something you're really into, it will become natural, being able to talk about the settings you chose or why you chose a composition. but it's not something that you can just watch a few videos on, learn how to do, and then monetize it. It's just not possible. It takes years. It takes dedication. It takes learning yourself, being comfortable, presenting the information that you have to other people in a confident way, in a way that teaches those people. You have to provide value to the people that are viewing your content, which is exactly what I'm trying to do, provide value to you guys. So what is the value in this video? Well, I hope that me being transparent about how I've made some money, the stats that I have so far, provides maybe some value to you. So with that said, let's look at a few of the stats so far. All right, so as I said before, I didn't technically start YouTube exactly 3 months ago. 3 years ago, I made 5 videos, and then earlier this year, I made 2 videos, and all of that summation is about 18,000 views and about 300 to 350 subscribers. Now, those numbers are pretty insignificant in the grand scheme of things, but I love to be transparent. I want you to know exactly that I have made videos in the past, but really the last 3 months is when I started to say, I'm gonna make a video at least once a week, and I'm gonna stick to it, and I'm gonna push to turn landscape photography into my career. Let's look at those stats. So here are the stats for the last 3 months. Over the course of those 3 months, as you can tell, there is definitely a separation for the first 45 days and the last 45 days. Anywhere down here you see is when I've posted a video. And as you can tell, I was definitely posting more videos in the beginning to where I started to feel a little bit overwhelmed. Because also to keep in mind is I'm still working a full-time job. So all of the YouTube stuff that I'm doing is like a second job. And I literally use every night of the week and both weekend days just to make content while keeping up with my day job. The caveat is that means that hopefully, eventually I can turn this channel into, my day job, and that means I get to dedicate more time to it. But anyways, with that out of the way, I was definitely making way too much work for myself in the beginning, trying to make almost 2 videos a week, to where I toned it down to trying to keep it to 1 video a week. And again, you can see the very beginning, views, I have a little spike here, and subscribers kind of follows exactly the same path. But right around here is when a video that I posted to Fstoppers blew up. And it did really well on Fstoppers, which is the website that I write content for. And because of that, it started to do really well on YouTube. All right, so I just need to interject really quick. This is future Alex after I've watched all of the stuff that you're watching right now. And I forgot to include a really important point to the success of this channel or success that you might find in your own work, and that is dissemination. So I can't just make YouTube videos and hope that people find them and discover them naturally. You have to send your content, send your material to places out there that are already established. And that is, for me, it was Fstoppers. So I established a relationship with them years ago, and you might be wondering how to do that. I'm not gonna tell you exactly what to do because that needs to be something that you do on your own, but I can tell you what worked for me and what I think is most important, and that is to not come up with an idea and ask them if you can do it for them. Come up with the idea and do it. Make the content, create the review. What I did was I already had videos. I wrote a review for my own website, and I sent that all to them saying, here's all the stuff I know how to do. Here's how I present information. Can I write for you? And they said yes. But many times people just want to provide an idea and see if they want them to write for them, and that doesn't work. And again, this can work for, this advice works for anybody. I think that if you go to anybody with stuff you've already done and say, hey, this is what I want to do, here's what I've already done, gives them a much better idea of what you can do and incentivizes them that you know what you're doing. Now, there are many ways out there besides just posting to a photography website like Fstoppers, but that is what worked for me. And I just have to say thank you to them and thank you for all the people that may have joined or subscribed to my channel from them. And that you might be wondering, well, I can't write for them. How am I ever going to get my content out there? And if you don't want to write, you can send your videos into them or plenty of other websites. But the key is to make good content, stand out. That is going to be a hurdle for many people because you can't just start photography or can't just start videography and then just make quality content in a short amount of time. It will take you time to learn and really develop your craft. But that is still a goal you can make. That is somewhere you can reach. It is completely obtainable by any person watching this video. So I just wanted to interject with that because I do think it's important that a lot of the success of the channel and a lot of the viewership and a lot of just getting my name out there came from writing those articles, and that's pretty much it. Now, I will say the video that ended up doing the best, the one I showed you that I'm talking about, I think right now, as I'm interjecting, a lot of the initial success came from Fstoppers' article doing well, and then YouTube said, okay, this video, we need to suggest it to people. And that's why the impression numbers that you're about to see skyrocketed. So thank you for Fstoppers, and thank you for giving me the opportunity. And I just needed to explain that because I do think it's important. You can't just make stuff and hope people see it. You got to send it to people. You got to get it out there. So back to the regularly scheduled program. Thank you for watching. I'm going to show you those impression values here. And what this means is that because it did well on Fstoppers, YouTube's algorithm started to say, okay, this video people like, so we're going to start suggesting it. And what impressions are just when YouTube suggests a video to other people, that's an impression. So if YouTube starts suggesting a video way more than all my other videos, that means that it turned on the algorithm. And you can see that in these stats. That video alone got 3.3 million impressions, which is also this blue graph. The next video I have, which is my most recent video, as you can tell, is a substantial amount less. And that one video, because it did so well, started to push my subscriber counts. And if we go back to that, you can see that on average, I had very little subscribers per day. I was hoping to reach about 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. That was my goal. And in the first 45 days, I was getting close to that on a daily average. I think that I could have reached it within the next 2 months. But then that video hit and things skyrocketed. And now we're sitting at, as you can tell, the live number is nearly 13,000 subscribers the day of making this video, which I'm making this video, you guys will see it tomorrow. That's how far in between the stats will be. Now, is this luck? A little bit, definitely. I'd be lying if I said that I didn't get a bit lucky with that particular video, but the video did a really good job at a few things. The title drew people in. I truly meant that title. It was not a clickbait title. When I learned that calibration setting in Lightroom, which, by the way, if you haven't seen it, you can check out here. And I'm sure most of you have if you're watching this video, but I genuinely meant what I said in that title. When I learned that trick, it changed my editing forever. And that's definitely a clickbait style title, but I really did mean it. And again, it worked. The title worked. I also think it was a subject not a lot of people knew about. It's not something a bunch of other people have covered, so it made it unique. And then more and more people liked the video. So it just blew up. Now, the thing to keep in mind here, and the most important part about that video, is not necessarily how many views it got. It's actually the translation or the amount of subscribers I got with the amount of views I got. So a video can do really well on YouTube, but you can gain 0 subscribers or very little subscribers from that video. However, I was translating, I got nearly 12,000 subs in the last 45 days. And that means that video and the videos that I've been releasing have been doing a very good job at having view counts and gaining subscribers, low view counts, sorry, and gaining subscribers for those views. That means that the content that I'm making, people enjoy. The presentation that I bring, people enjoy. And it really tells me that I'm on the right path. Now, the other thing we can talk about is revenue. So let's talk about some revenue. As you can tell right here, so far I have made $954 from AdSense. But there is more to it than just that. To be partnered on YouTube, you have to have 1,000 subscribers and at least 4,000 watch hours. Now, the only time that those videos I made 3 years ago or earlier this year that really matter are here, because it gave me an extra 300 subs and I think an extra 900 hours, 900, I think, I can go back and look, 900 hours of watch time, so that when I reached the 4,000 hours of watch time, that definitely helped a little bit. Now, I reached that goal somewhere around, I want to say November 10th, and then I applied to be a partner, and then by November 16th, which you can see on the graph, is when I started making revenue. Now, these just come from ads on the video. I don't have any mid-roll ads, I don't have any overlays, and I don't have any cards. I only have pre-roll ads because personally, I hate all those other ads, and I want to try to keep it to a minimum and just make my channel as pure content as possible. So with that said, you can see I've made about $954. That's not much to write home about, but it is only the course of about a month. The flip side of that is I've made a decent amount of money from a video that did really well, and that won't continue into the future unless I continue to make videos that do really well. No other video that I've had has done that well, so I'm not relying necessarily on that money. A few other mediums that I've made money from is the Fstoppers articles that I write. I make about a few $100s per month on average from those. I write about 4 articles, and the amount I get paid is dependent on how well they do, so on average about $200 a month. Another source of revenue is affiliate links. I didn't start the affiliate links until about the time I started making revenue from YouTube, which is November 16th, about exactly 1 month ago, and I've made about $25 from that. Affiliate links are just links that I have in the description down below or on my gear page, where if you buy anything after clicking on one of those links, I earn a tiny percentage of commission. The other 2 things I've made money from are a one-on-one session, which hasn't even happened yet, but it is scheduled to happen. I have not advertised one-on-one sessions, and that's just me having a one-to-one session with a viewer or a person that would contact me to get help on a photo, show them how to edit a specific photo, show them editing techniques or anything like that. And I've gotten one, and that was about $100. The only other thing is I got a review. I got sent something to review that I use for my video camera, and that's in the works. But the reason that translates to money is because I was actually about to buy that product. It's some ND filters that I use on my video camera, and I was literally had them in my cart about to click checkout before I thought, why don't I contact them and see if they would like me to do a review? So they sent me the products. I'm going to do a review on them, and I'm still going to give my 100% honest answer. If they wanted a positive review or any, tried to persuade me with the products they sent, I would send them back and say, no, thank you. But that was money I was about to spend that they sent to me for me to do a review on, which I'm working on. And that was about $200. So all in all, I've made roughly $1,750 since the start, which is back in September. Now those numbers are a little skewed because I didn't actually start making money till about a month ago. So the last 30 days. So hopefully in the next 3 months, my revenue should be a bit higher since from the start to finish, I will be making revenue. Now, I haven't really focused too much on making money because my goals, like I said, were reach 1,000 subscribers and honestly just make content that I enjoyed making and make good content. That's really what I wanted. I just wanted to gain an audience, meet people, talk to people, make content that I enjoyed. Now, I'd be lying if I said revenue isn't in the back of my mind because, believe it or not, I am likely losing my job sometime in the spring of next year. And that means that this whole YouTube thing needs to go a little quicker than I had envisioned. I've got about 6 months of money to pay for bills saved up. And then past that, I have to hope that this channel and what I'm doing is enough to pay the bills. Again, it's a difficult task because anytime you think about turning your hobby or your passion into something that's a business, it can ruin that hobby or passion. You start to try to balance the anxiety and the pressure of earning money with what you do that you love. And that can be difficult because a lot of times what ends up happening is you start to do it, you start to get paid, and then you lose your lust or your love for it. And then you don't want to do it anymore, or it ruins the experience. So I am trying my absolute best to not burn out. I'm trying my best to keep making content that I enjoy and that I love doing, and also make sure that I can monetize it in a way to turn it into something that I enjoy doing while putting food on the table. So I hope those stats helped you. I hope this video helped you. And I cannot thank you guys enough for the support. I mean, again, my goal was 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I'm at 13,000 subscribers, an unheard of gain in my opinion. And well, at least in my experience, I never dreamed of gaining that much support. And I'm going to try not to cry, but it literally means the world to me that I've had that much reception. And it shows me that what I'm creating, how I'm doing it, is working in some way. Now, there's definitely some things I hope to change, and that is I don't, again, want to become just a talking head about tutorials. I really do think that the photography adventures that I go on, that's what I really enjoy making the most, and I think they have a lot of value. I personally need to work on those videos and make sure that they provide more value to the viewer, maybe more instruction, maybe more tips and tricks while I'm out in the field. all things that I want to work on in the next 3 months. Speaking of the next 3 months, my goals are hopefully 20,000 subs. That is a pretty far stretch, but if things continue the way they are, I should hopefully be able to reach that. I want to continue making content that I enjoy. I want to make content that is valuable for you guys, the viewers, and hopefully be able to monetize it in a better way that still isn't intrusive to you. Because again, this is really about making good content, and I really don't want to make it about selling you content. So that's definitely a goal. I want to look into sponsorships for videos. Hopefully I reach a point where I have enough subs and enough views that a sponsor reaches out or has interest in sponsoring my videos, because that's definitely a more consistent income when making YouTube videos. Other than that, realistically, my goals are pretty simple. I just want to keep making good content, not focus too much on the numbers, but also have it in the back of my head that, hey, you need to start making money at some point. So those are the goals. I hope you guys enjoyed this 3-month overview, and I have definitely talked way too much, all in one stretch. I don't even know how many cuts I'll have, but that's because I'm really am passionate about this. It comes naturally because I cannot thank you guys enough for the support that you've shown me. And I know I've already said it, but this wouldn't be a reality, turning my dream into reality without the support that you guys have left me with. All the comments, the messages, everything like that have been absolutely incredible, and I cannot thank you enough. So again, thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you again on the next one. Later.